In this video lesson, we will learn how to use slope-intercept form to plot linear functions. As we know, linear functions have the form y equals to some number times x plus some other number. We can rewrite this as y equals mx plus b, where m and b are some constants. Now, what are m and b? M is the slope of our line, and b is the y-intercept. That is why we call this the slope-intercept form of a line. Now, how do we use this to graph a function? Let's take y equals to 3x minus 1. I will show how to use slope and the y-intercept to graph it. Now, the y-intercept, that is b, is -1 in this case. What this means is that if x equals 0, then 3 times 0 is 0, so y must be -1. So the point 0, -1 is on this line. That is just 1 below the origin, on the y-axis. That is why it's called the y-intercept. So now we have 1 point from this line. To get a second point, we're going to use the slope. First, let's remember what exactly the slope is. Slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x. We also know that in this case, the slope equals to 3, because 3 is multiplied times x. So what does this mean? Say we start with x equals 0. We already have the point x equals 0, y equals -1 drawn. But we want to move 1 to the right. That is, we make x equals 1. Now, when x equaled 0, we had y equals -1. But then when we shift along the line 1 to the right, what does y become? Well, x changes by 1, because 1 minus 0 equals to 1. And we know that the change in y over the change in x is 3. So y must have changed by 3, because then we have 3 over 1. That is, our slope tells us that y changes by 3 per every change of 1 in x. That means our y goes from -1 to -1 plus 3, which is just 2. Graphically, we can see this as a shift of 1 to the right, causing a shift of 3 up. This is what is referred to as rise over run, another way of writing down slope. We have risen 3, and the run was 1, so the slope is 3, which is correct. Thus, our second point is on the line, and connecting them with a ruler gives us our linear plot. Next, we just label our function y equals 3x minus 1. Now we will move to a second example. First, I will clean up the board. Now we are ready to move on to our second example. We will take the function y equals 3 over 2 times x plus 1. We know that 1 must be the y-intercept. So that means that the point 0, 1 must be on our line. We can check this. If x equals 0, then y must equal to 3/2 times 0 plus 1, which simplifies to just 1. So 0, 1 is indeed a point on the line. Now we can use the slope to complete our linear plot. Slope equals to, in this case, 3/2, which is the constant that we multiply times x. But in general, we know that the slope is the change in y over the change in x. This means that if we have some point and that we change the x coordinate by 2, that is, when x changes by 2, then y must change by 3. So, if we take our first point that we drew, the point 0, 1, and we go 2 to the right of it, then we must go 3 up to find another point which lies on this same line. Now we can connect these 2 points with a ruler, and that will complete our linear plot. We just label the function y equals 3/2 x plus 1. Thank you for watching this video lecture.